here's a tour of our Riviera Standard Studio, room 8867. I really like the hardware they use in the rooms here. So here is the entryway. And this is a door to the adjoining room. We have a closet, extra pillows and blankets, vacuum cleaner, laundry basket, ironing board, safe in the wall. It's the bathroom. Very nice, very nice fixtures and fittings. We have this great walk-in shower. I love these. And they have the reusable, refillable bottles of soap in here. A rainfall shower head. And the bathroom is in two parts. It's a lot like the bathrooms in the Grand Floridian. You have a makeup mirror, one sink, some storage, and another full shower and bath. And a full-length mirror. Kitchenette. We've got a sink, paper towels, cabinets, everything you need for your coffee, toaster, can opener, microwave. There's probably stuff up there, but I can't reach it. A regular coffee maker, fridge. What's in here? Trash can, cleaning supplies. We have a queen bed. So pretty. I love the headboard. And we have USB plugs by the beds. French artwork a la Toulouse-Lautrec. And this is a sofa, but it's also a Murphy bed. Just pull this down. Ugh. And you have to be stronger than me to get it all the way down. But it's got this cute little 50s looking 101 Dalmatians painting back there. And then seating area, and then you have another single pull down bed in here. Mattress feels nice and comfy with Pascal and his forest friends from Rapunzel from Tangled. And then here is the balcony, and this is a standard view, so it's above the parking lot. There's Disney Springs. You can see some of the Disney Springs hotels. And then as we pan to the left, way back there, that's the Four Seasons. And here you've got the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster, Wonders of Life Pavilion, Spaceship Earth. Really great views of Epcot. And if they were doing fireworks, you're gonna have a really great view. And then way off in the distance back there, you can see the Contemporary and Bay Lake Tower, so you could see Magic Kingdom fireworks from here too. And then there's the Land Pavilion. You can see Figment's Pyramid. So yeah, it's a standard view, but it's a really great view to have if you really want to look at Spaceship Earth at night or when they're doing fireworks. Hello again. So the Riviera Deluxe Studio is way bigger than Riviera Tower Studio. Remember, the Tower Studio is only 255 square feet and the Deluxe Studio is 423 square feet. It's huge. It's actually the second largest DVC studio on property. The studios at the Polynesian are slightly larger, so it's a big room. The Riviera Deluxe Studio is actually my favorite DVC studio on property. It really is. It's just so big, and it's nice and bright in there, and everything's nice and new, and I love the bathroom. It's actually tied for favorite bathroom with the Grand Floridian studios. They basically have the same bathroom. It's just a different decor. But I love the bathrooms at the Riviera. I just really love that split bathroom and then having 2 different showers, and it's just so roomy. Just the studio is just so nice and big, especially compared to the Tower Studio. And that's why I don't really recommend the Tower Studio, but I definitely recommend the Deluxe Studio. Now, we have stayed in a Deluxe Studio at the Riviera 3 different times. The first time we stayed there, I had actually booked a cash room in a Tower Studio. It was our first night. And then we arrived probably around 6 or 7 o'clock that night, and our room still wasn't ready yet. So they just gave us a preferred view Deluxe Studio for no extra charge. So that was the first time we stayed there. And then we stayed 3 nights in a standard view studio. And that's the one that you just saw the tour and you saw the view from a standard view. And then the third time we stayed there, we stayed one night. I had booked a standard view, but for whatever reason, we just got upgraded to a preferred view. So we've stayed there for a total of 5 nights, and I just really love the room. I think the decor is really cute. There's little Disney touches, but it's not overstated, but it's not completely sterile. I mean, there's still Minnie on the wall, and there's this cute little Mickey in the headboard that's on every headboard. That's so cute. And here's a picture of the iron railing on the balcony of every room, a little hidden Mickey there. It's really cute. So there's still little Disney touches, but it's not like overly Disney. I mean, it's not like a Little Mermaid room at Art of Animation Disney, but it's still really cute. And I think it's nicely done. I think it's nicely decorated. The room is comfortable. It's obviously roomy. The only couple of negatives with the room are watch out for those corners around that bed, because you are going to bash various body parts into those corners several times during your stay. So just be mindful of that and don't cover them up with sheets. Like, make sure that you can see them so that you don't run into them. Another negative that I find with the Riviera Deluxe Studios as opposed to the Tower Studios is that they're just noisy. I think the Disney hotels in general are noisy. I find them to just be much noisier than other hotels I've stayed at. Just the hallways are noisy, the neighbors are noisy. It's like they just have thin walls or something, I don't know. But I find that the Riviera Studios are a little bit on the loud side. Definitely the Tower Studios are definitely much quieter. That's probably the only thing that the Tower Studios I think have going for them over the Deluxe Studios. Now, if you're looking to book a Deluxe Studio, you'll notice that you have 2 choices of views, a standard view and then a preferred view, which costs more. Now, the only difference in those views is that the standard views face the front of the building and face the parking lot and Epcot, but the preferred views face the back of the building and face the pool and face the Skyliner and Caribbean Beach. Now, actually, I think that the standard view is actually a better view because that's where you can see Epcot fireworks from your room. Whereas if you have a preferred view, you can't see fireworks from your room. So that's actually a bonus to the standard view. But like every Disney hotel that has different view categories, there are fewer rooms available in the lower price standard view than in the higher price preferred view. So it can be harder to get the cheaper standard view, even though I think you have a better view and it's less points. So that's a win-win. But I think the preferred view has a really nice view. I don't dislike the view. I just don't think it's worth any more points. When you have a preferred view, yes, it overlooks Caribbean Beach, but I think Caribbean Beach is nice to look at. It's pleasant colors. It's nice. I like looking at the Skyliner. I do think that looking at the Skyliner it's really pretty. It's colorful. It's like Christmas lights. It's just kind of relaxing to watch the Skyliner. The Riviera Preferred View actually is one of the few places that I actually do like to actually look at my view. Most other places, I'm just like, I don't even, especially if it's a pool view. I mean, to me, a pool view is never any kind of an upgrade. So I just don't spend much time on my balcony at DVC resorts, but I know some people do, and that's important to some people, but that's really just your difference. The preferred views are on the back of the resort, the standard views are at the front of the resort. Well, now that we've established that I really like the room, let's talk some numbers. So I have some slides here of your points and cash costs for a deluxe studio, standard versus preferred view. And you can see that there's a substantial points difference that you need between the standard and the preferred view. And so that's where you have to ask yourself, really, like, do I really want to look at the Skyliner that much? Or would I rather look at a parking lot and Spaceship Earth? I mean, I would choose standard any day. And if you happen to get upgraded to preferred, that's great. But you see that the standard room goes from anywhere to 14 to 32 points. And the preferred goes anywhere from 17 to 40 points a night. And just like with the Tower Studios, you can see that the Riviera is expensive points wise. Now, cash wise, the rack rate for a standard view studio can range anywhere from $559 to $925 a night. And that's rack rate before tax and the $25 parking fee if you're not a DVC member. And the preferred cash rack rate is anywhere from $621 to $1,041 a night. Okay. Let's talk about this for a minute. Okay. So one of my other favorite hotels that's very close by, the Waldorf Astoria at Bonnet Creek. Okay. Now let's talk about these cash prices for a minute. These cash prices are very close to what you would pay to stay at the Waldorf Orlando Bonnet Creek that is a stone's throw from the Riviera. We really love staying at the Waldorf. We stay there almost every trip. And here's a picture of a Disney view, but a standard sized room at the Waldorf. And you can see it's very spacious. It's very nice. And just to give you some reference, here is a picture of our view from our room, and you can see over on the right, that gray building there, that's the Riviera. So that's how close it is to the Riviera. And the Hilton Bonnet Creek that's attached to it is even closer. That yellow building that you see there, that's a Wyndham timeshare and hotel complex that's also part of the Bonnet Creek property. So yeah, these cash prices, yeah, that's high. Would I spend that to stay here? No. I mean, no, I wouldn't. Sometimes you can get a really good deal, pass holder rate up to 40% off, but those deals are really quite rare. It's more typical that you're going to find like a 25 to 30% off of those cash rates. And even then, though, it's still going to be about the same price as staying at the Waldorf. Yeah, their pricing for the Riviera, it's certainly something. Now, just to compare the Riviera to another DVC resort, here is a slide showing you a weekly cost between the Riviera Deluxe Studio versus a Boardwalk Studio, standard and preferred. And these are my little dates that I like to pick of a low and a high range, not the lowest, but not the highest of the year. And the first one is, so for January and the first half of December, a week in a Riviera Standard View Studio will cost you 116 points, and a Preferred View will cost you 143 points, whereas that same week in a Boardwalk Standard View is only 73 points, and a Preferred View is only 102 points. Yikes. That's a big difference. Yeah. And you just have to decide if that's worth it for you for an entire week. Now, for spring break, which again, this isn't the most expensive time of year, but it's the second most expensive time of year. It is actually a long time of year. So this is what it's going to cost you to stay here, basically March and April. The Standard View Studio at Riviera is $155 for the week. The Preferred View is $197 for the week. The Boardwalk Standard is only $113 for the week, and the Boardwalk Preferred is only $139 for a week. So, wow, especially that difference between the Riviera Preferred and the Boardwalk Preferred. Now, this is why I recommend with the Riviera to do a split stay. I just think that the prices for cash and points are really just too high compared to some of the other resorts. And while I really like the Riviera Resort, I think it's a really nice resort and the rooms are top notch. It's just expensive, especially for a resort that doesn't give you any walking access to any other parks. It's not the most convenient resort to stay at, but they're still charging Grand Floridian prices almost. And speaking of that, I have a slide comparing the cost of a week at the Riviera versus a week at the Grand Floridian. And you can see that the costs are not too far off, especially when compared to the boardwalk. You see that the Grand Floridian for January and the first half of December is 127 points for the standard view, 153 points for the lake view. And for spring break, it's 174 points at the Grand for a standard and 199 points for a preferred view. And you see how close that really is to the Riviera. So they're charging almost Grand Floridian prices. And I would say that the rooms are a little bit nicer than the rooms at the Grand Floridian just because they are newer and the living area of the studios is bigger. The Grand Floridian studios actually measure 374 square feet or 34.7 square meters, and those Riviera standard studios are 423 square feet or 39.3 square meters. So the Riviera studio is bigger, but I don't think that you can really compare the Riviera with the Grand Floridian from a standpoint of amenities and closeness to Magic Kingdom and other resorts, other deluxe resorts that you can enjoy when you're staying at the Grand Floridian. It's harder to get to other resorts when you're staying at the Riviera unless you use the Skyliner, and we know that the Skyliner isn't 100% reliable. So in conclusion, I really love the Riviera Deluxe Studio. I really like the Riviera Resort, but it's expensive to stay there. And so while I really recommend that you stay in a deluxe studio at the Riviera, I don't really recommend that you do it for an entire week. I think it's a great chance to do a split stay. But it is my favorite DVC studio, so I do recommend trying it out. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll check out my review of the Tower Studio and our review of the amenities of the Riviera Resort as a whole. And I'll see you next time. Bye!